Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hey, it's Jake Sorensen. Tune in this Thursday, August 22nd for Early Break live from the brand new Rhule Steakhouse in Ashland. We'll sample food throughout the broadcast and show off the newest steakhouse in the area this Thursday for Early Break live from Rhule Steakhouse in Ashland.
Bill Bush here for Hefty Seed Company, who wants you to know about their summer meeting on Wednesday, August 21st. You know how deeply I care about ag, so I'm locked into these topics for the meeting, including input costs for the 2025 growing season, weed control, fertility, seed traits, new varieties, herbicide, and crop protection pricing, and all industry news. RSVP today, heftyseed.com/store meetings, or call 402-646-2040. It's the Hefty Agronomy Meeting at Harvest Hall at Seward County Fairground on Wednesday, August 21st, from 1 to 2:30, with lunch at 12:30. Free lunch. Don't miss it.
Be a memory for your grandchildren. Among Nebraska adults age 65 or older, 47% report current alcohol use. Drinking too much can cause harm to children, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, you will still be around for your grandchildren. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Hay season is a race against time. Win that race with an all-new 1 Series round baler from Landmark Implement. The all-new John Deere 1 Series round baler is a revolutionary leap in baler technology that captures near real-time moisture and weight data that can be analyzed through Operations Center to improve your bale quality and farm efficiency. Are you ready to upgrade your hay equipment? Contact your local Landmark location for full details on the new 1 Series round baler and experience the Landmark difference.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Summer concerts keep rolling at Pinewood Bowl with a great show on Wednesday, August 21st. Blue October headlines a trifecta of artists with Switchfoot and Matt Nathanson starting things off. Don't miss Blue October, Switchfoot, and Matt Nathanson on Wednesday, August 21st at Pinewood Bowl. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Looking for a place to host a one-of-a-kind private game day experience for your staff or clients? Courtyard Marriott downtown is just blocks from the stadium and steps away from all the fanfare. You'll enjoy use of an entire entertainment space, including outdoor courtyard, accommodations for 250 plus guests. Party starts 3 hours before kickoff, and they'll clean up while you go and enjoy the game. Call Courtyard Marriott at 402-904-4800 for more info or to book your pregame party today. Limited dates available.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I am a huge guy.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Monday. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert, Rico with you. What's up, Rico?
Yeller.
How was the weekend?
It was great.
Good.
Celebrated a 10-year-old's birthday that is actually today.
Okay.
So shout out to Tatum as she turns 10 years old today.
Happy birthday, Tatum.
Happy birthday, Tatum. Tater tot.
There you go. As always, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line are both open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo channel 961. Good stuff lined up. We have some press conference sound bites to get to throughout the course of today. We also want to get to the Javen Wright situation. Unfortunate situation for an experienced guy in Nebraska's defense, out indefinitely for some reason. And so we want to get to that, talk about the depth. What does that mean? Because Javen Wright, right? Javen Wright, right? We thought that we expected him to be a pretty big part of Nebraska's defense, right? There's a lot of pieces around it, and you would hope that Javen Wright was going to play a part in that, and he very well may still play a part into it. Out indefinitely, no timetable, obviously, on the situation, but we know Nebraska's going to be without him for some time at least.
Rhule said that he expect him to come back sometime this season, but yeah, he's a very important part to this defense. Playing in that rover, middle linebacker, outside line, whatever position he was at, he was one of the better tacklers. Had a couple of interceptions as well down the stretch. Proved his versatility on that defensive side of the ball, and to lose somebody who has the veteran presence, who has the know-how in going around in that defense, playing it at various positions, is going to hurt. Yes, you'll still have him on the sideline, kind of coaching some of those guys up. It's and you know, based on what Rhule said, it doesn't sound like it's a physical injury that's going to take some time to rehabilitate from. I'm not going to, speculate on what the injury would be, but it seems as if it's something that he will be able to come back from, and he will be able to play sometime this season and still make his presence felt. Hopefully, you wish for the best for Javen Wright and hope that he does come back sooner rather than later in order to assist that Nebraska defense in getting to the level that they want to be. Because again, he's a guy who played at a not a very high level, but at a high enough level that you will miss his presence out there.
Yeah, Rhule said this, quote, he has a health condition that we're working through, right? So he goes, I'll probably leave it at that just until he's ready to talk more about it. We do know that in years past, and this is just a fact, right, that Javen did suffer from some other medical issues previously in his time at Nebraska. In 2023, played in 12 games, had one start at linebacker, had 51 tackles last year with 2 pass breakups, 2 interceptions as well, half of a sack and 1 forced fumble. I mean, this is a guy that has certainly given his fair share of effort, at least to the defensive side of the ball. 6'5", 230 pounds. Really, really promising size, right?
Didn't he come in as a safety, if I remember correctly?
He came in as one of those
it was like a
blend
tweener.
guys.
Yeah, it was like a tweener where you weren't sure if he was going to be a safety or if he wasn't going to be a corner. You weren't sure if he was going to be a safety or a linebacker. Put on the weight and got himself into that linebacking area.
I also don't know, and Nebraska staff, to their credit, has found a spot for him. I didn't know where he should be. And what I mean by that is way too big to be a DB, way too big to be a DB. Not big enough to play inside, and then to be kind of a rusher. I didn't know mentality wise But but once again, I know Javen decently well. From I had classes with him, and so I know Javen decently well. That's nothing against Javen specifically. 6'5", 230 pounds though. He played a big role for Nebraska last year. 51 tackles, as I mentioned, over the course of 12 games, including 7 tackles against the number 2 Michigan Wolverines back in 2023. He had an injury-ridden couple of first seasons with Nebraska, right? 2019 red shirts. But 2020 was, he had a preseason injury, missed the entire COVID year. 2021, he played in just 2 games against Fordham and Buffalo. 2022 played in 10 games. And then, like I said, 2023 plays in 12 games for Nebraska. So it's just, it's really unfortunate because you look at that outside linebacker spot and you go, okay, what are some of the names that maybe will have to now step up? And like, once again, we find ourselves saying the name of like Vincent Shavers Jr.
Yeah. A young guy who might have to step up as a freshman and step into that role. But you also have guys who, Mekhi Bayer, who came on the scene late last year. You have a guy in, and now I'm blanking on his name, transferred from Georgia.
MJ Sherman,
a guy who we haven't really heard of all that much since he transferred in, was a guy who maybe fans at least thought, and maybe probably the coaching staff as well, thought was going to play a much bigger role when he first got here, but is still getting accustomed to things or just hasn't panned out yet in the way that this coaching staff hopes. It's you still have some elder statesmen at that position, but it's not guys who have made an impact quite yet to the level where you won't be looking at a Vincent Shavers Jr. who has been popping in practice to step into that role as a true freshman and say, all right, man, the best way to get, experience is to be thrown into the fire, is to, start right away going against these Big Ten and all these, guys who are much older, more experienced and bigger than you, and just getting in there and getting stuff done, which is not something that is foreign, obviously, to the collegiate football ranks, but is something that maybe Nebraska wasn't hoping to do starting off with, these talented young freshmen and redshirt freshmen. You don't necessarily want to throw them into the fire in a capacity of, look, you're the guy now, and we're going to need you to step up, but maybe get them in certain situations, get them those 4 games.
Yeah.
And then be able to sit them down, preserve that red shirt, and say, okay, from what you learned when you were in there, what do you need to get better at? From what you were learning from practice going against these guys, what do you need to get better at? As opposed to, look, you got to step up now, and whatever you need to get better at, you need to figure that out immediately and step up to the plate and be that guy for us. You don't want that for Vincent Shavers, but it might happen with a guy who is popping so early.
Well, it's popping so early. And then also, I mean, there's you look at some other names that will certainly contribute in that linebacker room. Because as Nebraska is now less than 2 weeks away, if you can believe it,
that's crazy.
Less than 2 weeks away. So Javen Wright's out of it. But like Rico said, you kind of know what you have inside at the inside, at the interior position, where you have kind of guys like John Bullock, or you have Stephon Thompson and a couple of other there. You feel good about that room, maybe right now, maybe in the future, not so much. But then on the outside, it's guys like, okay, Prince Will, Uman Mielen, right? We talked about Javen Wright's size, 6'5", 230. Prince Will's out here, 6'5", 245 is where he's at currently, according to the Nebraska roster. You have other guys out there as well. You said it, Mekhi Bayer, 6'2", 230.
You got Vincent Genatone, right?
Yeah, Vince Genatone is there as well. But once again, Vincent Shavers, 6'1", 225 pounds for the true freshman from Miami, Florida. Played at Miami Central, obviously Nebraska. Former home of one-time Nebraska defensive back Henry Gray.
Hey,
Henry Gray played at Miami Central, but ultimately never saw the field in Nebraska because he transferred out after a couple of weeks of being on campus. So the linebacker room certainly takes a hit. I'd be curious. I think those guys there, sometimes in coverage, I think those guys worry me at times just because they haven't been the fastest crew in terms of speed, right? Nebraska's DBs have been serviceable. They've been fine.
Well, that's why losing a guy like Javen Wright is so
yeah,
crucial.
because he's such a good athlete.
Yeah, like I said, he came in as a tweener. He knew what to do in coverage. He was fast enough to be that coverage guy, and he was big enough to cover a tight end or a wide receiver, fast enough to cover a wide receiver in the slot. And now losing him, again, you're going to have to rely on some guys who maybe might not have the speed to keep up with slot guys, might not have the size to stay with tight ends, and might not have the strength to get in there and mix it up to stop the run. So a guy like Javen Wright, who had all of that, maybe wasn't elite at any one thing, but was really good at all three of those things. It's tough to lose him because now you're going to have to mix and match to find what these guys are going to be good at and make sure they're in when something like this happens. Because with this defense, and we saw it last year, a lot of substitutions, getting fresh guys in there constantly.
So once again, Javen Wright out indefinitely per Matt Rhule. He announced that over the weekend on Saturday that Javen Wright was out indefinitely. Didn't say what it specifically was for, just mentioned that it was a medical condition and that they weren't going to speak on that anymore until Javen himself decided to. So there you have it between Nebraska and their linebacker Javen Wright. Out indefinitely for the Huskers, just less than 2 weeks. What would that be? 12 days before the season? How about that? 12 days before the season, Nebraska loses loses their 6th year linebacker, Javen Wright.
Tough. There's college football this weekend. We got week 0
That is what
games.
I've heard. That is what I've heard.
You can catch some Hawaii, baby.
They also released the preseason All-American teams, including the preseason freshman All-American team.
I don't see why that matters.
Let's talk about it. We'll do that when we come up next. Once again, 402-464-5685. The Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line are open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Allo Channel 961. You can always follow Rico and myself on Twitter, Nick_Sainert, or at Radio Rico AC. We'll step aside, come back, talk freshman All-American team, also get some of those quotes from the press conferences, get you guys ready for, 12 days until Nebraska versus UTEP on August 31st. We'll do that coming up next on Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You've seen them come and go. Franchise testosterone clinics that pop up and then whoosh, they're gone. These franchise clinics quickly find out it's not easy to compete with Limitless Male. Limitless is locally owned and operated with a flawless protocol that has elevated them to be the best in men's testosterone replacement and sexual performance. By adding GLP-1s, our patients are losing weight in a healthy way. To feel your optimal best, schedule a free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hay season is a race against time. Win that race with an all-new 1 Series round baler from Landmark Implement. The all-new John Deere 1 Series round baler is a revolutionary leap in baler technology that captures near real-time moisture and weight data that can be analyzed through Operations Center to improve your bale quality and farm efficiency. Are you ready to upgrade your hay equipment? Contact your local Landmark location for full details on the new 1 Series round baler and experience the Landmark difference.
Summer concerts keep rolling at Pinewood Bowl with the great show on Wednesday, August 21st. Blue October headlines a trifecta of artists with Switchfoot and Matt Nathanson starting things off. Don't miss Blue October, Switchfoot, and Matt Nathanson on Wednesday, August 21st at Pinewood Bowl. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, this deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Have you been accused of a crime? Is your liberty and freedom at stake? At Liberty Law Group, we are committed to defending the liberty and pursuing justice for those accused. Going to court is stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. At Liberty Law Group, we carry that burden for you. When legal troubles are keeping you up at night, trust Liberty Law Group to fight your battles. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Hey, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. It's official. Wedding season is here, and we know that every detail counts. From bridal party gifts to the finishing touches for the bride and groom, discover our exclusive selection of watches and fine jewelry. Did you know we even offer in-house engraving? Celebrate your special day with a personal touch and a timeless gift they'll cherish forever. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Be a memory for your grandchildren. Among Nebraska adults age 65 or older, 47% report current alcohol use. Drinking too much can cause harm to children, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, you will still be around for your grandchildren. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Old School with DP and J.
And, this part of camp it happens in high school camp, when they have a certain amount of time before their game, before school starts and all that. And then it happens in college and it happens in the pros. I had more fights with some of my good friends, the guys that I'm considered lifelong friends at this point in camp, than with some over-energized rookie trying to make a name for himself. Seriously.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
I tried to get in the car down in Dallas. Tried to get in the guy. The guy was in the car. The guy in the car. I got a big gulp and some. And I got a big.
Fiddled around.
Trying to get the guy. I opened the door. The guy's looking at me like, "What the hell are you doing?"
You're lucky you look congenial.
And I get to kind of look like, see why?
Yeah.
See, same car. See it. And he's
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
This is a house of learned doctors.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
As soon as your eyes shut, I'm going to punch you square in the face.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick and Rico with you. Hope the weekend was great. On the text line, we got a text in from Bill and Bennett. It says, hey, Nick, Joe B's buddy Elmo caught, how about that name? Elmo caught this 43-inch northern pike in Canada last week. How about that?
Oh,
I've always said, I want to catch northern pike in moving water. And what I mean by that is I always have only caught northern pike ice fishing up in Valentine, Nebraska.
Ooh.
And I've never been able to go fish for them. I just haven't made time. Fish for them in freshwater or like in the spring or summer or fall.
I wouldn't consider myself an expert fisher or that I know anything about
Expert
fishing,
fisher.
but what I do know is that I do enjoy fishing.
Okay.
It is relaxing and I like doing it. Haven't done it much, but every once in a while we go up to Central City, go up to the lake, and there's some fish in there, and we'll just get on the pontoon and just toss it in the water while the pontoon's moving and just try to have the fish catch up to us.
So
and it's like I said, it's relaxing. I like sitting on the bank doing it also, but I've always had this thought like I want to go like I don't want to because it terrifies me, but I want to go or like be on a boat when people are deep sea fishing.
I don't know how I feel about deep sea fishing.
I kind of want to, but also it terrifies me.
I'm not sure how I feel about deep sea fishing just because and let us know on the text line if we need to. But no, the 43 hours of like reeling it in.
Yeah, you're just sitting there with the strap or like the chair and you're just fighting.
Yes.
You're just fighting it. And then maybe you bring it in, maybe your line snaps. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not catching bluegill there.
No.
You're not catching those.
Get you a sailfish or a swordfish. Some people are catching sharks. You seen those groupers? Things are massive.
Yes.
Terrifying.
People are, I don't know. I would be nervous. How about this? I would be nervous at like if a shark came in the boat. I'd be terrified of like it biting you.
Yeah. But also, that'd be really cool.
It would be cool.
I'm terrified of the swordfish or the sailfish when you're reeling them in and they jump into the boat.
Yes.
So I'm like, bro, that could kill you. Just boop, right through your chest.
Yeah, you got to watch out. Have quick reflexes.
Night, George.
402-464-5685. Great fish, though, Elmo. Nice job. So how about this? Shout out to Brad from Baldwin. Says, been gone a week. Great to be back listening to Happy Hour. Appreciate Brad from Baldwin.
What it is,
Shout
Brad?
out. He went to Vegas. I'm in a fantasy group chat or fantasy league with Brad from Baldwin, and they were in Vegas for a week.
Did they do the draft there?
No, we did not. No.
Have you ever thought have you seen those? The people that like do their draft, like they go somewhere to do their draft?
I have.
Crazy.
I have. Downtown Scott says deep sea. He goes, nah, I went deep sea fishing. It was fun once I was done puking due to the motion sickness. That's how I feel about cruises.
Do I want to go on a cruise? That's my question for the people.
I feel like a lot of people they always give the don't worry, it doesn't feel like you're on the water because the cruise ships are so big, they're massive. There's so much to do. It doesn't feel like you're on the water. You can't feel the waves. And like the cruise ships, I see those like comparison pictures of like cruise ships from 20 years ago
to now.
They're
huge.
And they are so much bigger.
Massive, dude.
But I sit there and I still go, I don't know if I trust it to not have any issues.
Nah.
So
anyway.
like
if something happens, like you're just there.
Yeah,
like
you got nowhere to
just
go.
On a boat.
You got nowhere to go. I do know like 4 or 5 people that have gone on Alaskan cruises this summer.
That sounds like I want to go to Alaska. And a cruise in Alaska, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. We got this text in. I've gone twice off the East Coast. I think this is probably deep sea fishing.
Yeah.
I've gone twice off the East Coast, and you never want to go with a group because then you're just going to be sitting there with people with snags in their lines and too afraid to take a fish off the hook. Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Good to know.
8893. When I get out there to deep sea fish, I will let the people know. No groups, just solo. Let me deep sea fish by myself. Troy and Lincoln, I went deep sea fishing in the Gulf. Left 4 a.m. Got done pulling at noon. Only thing I hooked, snapped my line. Not a good experience here.
Dang. But you know you had something big though. Like that's the thing. Like
Troy and Lincoln says I was puking. Oh, left at 4 a.m. Got done puking at noon.
Oh, jeez. That's tough.
My goodness.
How'd you have anything left?
That's wild. So 1010 on the text line says, can you imagine a city the size of Ashland buildings and all crammed into the cruise ship?
There is like
there's actual buildings.
The world's largest cruise ship. I saw like a video of it pulling into like a port.
Yes.
It dwarfs everything.
I'm just thrown off guard by like how they maneuver it and how they drive it.
I don't know.
Like the whole like we gotta park this thing.
Yeah, like how early do you have to start like the engine in reverse or like turn off the engine or like
yes,
make your
for
turns
it to actually kick into gear?
Ridiculous. details.
That's my thing is you have to know all the details of like everything around you. Shout out to the Titanic. You have to know all of those details and like what's ahead well in advance.
Oh yeah, because you're not turning very fast. It's not turning very fast.
Also, pirates, man.
Hey, you're not going to pirate areas unless you're off the coast of Somalia.
I have seen.
Are there any pirates around the coast of the United States?
I do get the TikToks where it's like cargo ships.
Yes.
And pirates are like circling them.
They take a lot of precautions on those cargo ships.
Yeah, very much so.
You would.
Scotty Skur says, I only fish with my kids and they'll outfish most grown men. How about that? That's a great picture as well. That's a great picture. Great stuff there. Appreciate that. Yeah, so Bill and Ben says don't get drunk the night before offshore fishing.
Yeah, sounds
Latex Mallard from MySpace says no pirate wants your booty. How about that? Good one. Latex Mallard.
Thanks, MySpace man.
That's awesome. Okay, now we have this one. Go deep sea fishing. Even the worst time fishing is an amazing time. When you catch any big fish, it is dangerous if they are in the boat. They can flip around and cause damage. Thankfully, there is a big stick with a hook on it to club the fish on the head and kill it.
There you go. But what if you're not going to kill it? What if you're letting it go?
You're not deep sea fishing.
Do you not let them go? You keep them and you eat them, right?
You got to keep them.
You keep them,
if I'm paying,
you don't eat them. You hang them up.
I'm gonna be honest. If I'm paying for the excursion, I'm going to keep it.
That makes sense.
And I'm going to feed it, or not feed it. Eat it.
You're going to feed it. I'm going to keep it as a pet.
I'm gonna feed myself.
How big of a tank do I need to keep a marlin? Do you think it will fit in my house? You've seen my house.
Rico grabs a piranha. He's like, "Hey,
if I fill
Ellie, KJ got a new pet.
If I fill my entire basement with water, do you think that's large enough for a marlin?"
Probably not. Probably not. Something about the whole like the size of the fish is relative to the tank.
Something like that.
Do they shrink if I just try to pop? If I just try to plop it in there, does it shrink?
If I stop feeding it, will it get smaller?
There you go. Okay, we're way off topic.
Yeah, okay,
Let's go into some of the Matt Rhule content that we have from over the weekend. He was asked about the left tackle position. I want to get to this for this at the start because we know that Nebraska misses out on David Sanders Jr. over the weekend. Not a huge surprise there, David. Sanders even said himself that Nebraska maybe was just a little late to the party, but did shout out Dylan Raiola and Matt Rhule. But now I'd be curious, Nebraska's left tackle position, because you look at maybe what the future looks like. And, guys like Grant Bricks are there. He was when I went to practice on Friday, he was off to the side in a yellow jersey, riding the bike, along with Malachi Coleman as well on Friday. Doesn't seem to be too serious there though, either. That's just reporting facts in all honesty. Didn't ask about him. Nobody's asked about him. So it must not be a huge deal regarding those two guys. But guys like Grant Bricks and Sam Sledge, and as Nebraska moves on eventually from what has felt like a veteran core on the offensive line group of the Bryce Benharts and Turner Corcoran and Teddy Prohaska, once they are out, I'm intrigued and curious about the future, I think. And so Matt Rhule was asked about just handling the left tackle position, specifically the blind side of Dylan Raiola, and here's what he had to say.
Yeah, it's been fine. I mean, I think they played well. I mean, Turner's playing well. Gunner's been over there. Grant's been over there. So, we went into the season, knowing Teddy and Turner were going to battle for that opportunity. Unfortunately, Teddy went down, so it's Turner's job for right now, and those other guys are getting better. And I think we have pretty good rushers. You go out there every day and you're facing Jamari and James Williams and Cam Lenhard and Prince Will. I mean, Prince Will's really come on as a pass rusher even more than he was before. So, you're getting an honest day's work out there. Mm-hmm. So I have a lot of confidence. I feel like the pass protection and the O-line as a whole has improved more this week and a half than anything else. I think that, we've been running the ball well. I think Donnie really went in there and just had them make a jump this past week and a half.
So that was really, really interesting towards the end. Going to the future and speaking about recruiting really quickly, just because Nebraska misses out on the offensive tackle David Sanders Jr. doesn't mean they're out of it for another one. Another 5-star prospect Nebraska is trying to be in the mix for is Jackson Cantwell. He's visited Nebraska previously. He cut his list to 14 just a couple of weeks before late July. He cut his list to 14, which we're doing top 14s now. But he's going to need to take several more visits here in the next couple of months to kind of solidify his picture. The top 14 involved schools like LSU, Georgia, Bama. Obviously, Nebraska's in there, Missouri, Texas A&M, USC. And it looks like return trips are all possible for these places. So Nebraska now will reset its sights and try to find a way to maybe persuade another top 5-star offensive tackle in Jackson Cantwell to give Nebraska the time of day.
Now, although Matt Rhule has said before that when a player commits that he's done recruiting them, he said that. I don't think that the recruitment of David Sanders Jr. is completely over because of how hard they did go after him.
Yeah.
I feel like there's still going to be some type of conversations between him and maybe Dylan Raiola, and maybe he'll see what's going on at Nebraska. If Nebraska ends up having a good start to the season or just a good season overall, there's going to be conversations throughout the season with some of those players who Nebraska has or was recruiting and committed to other schools. It's just going, like, I feel like that's just going to happen because you wait to see how good Nebraska is going to be. And if they're better than you thought, if Dylan is better than maybe David Sanders thought he was going to be, if the line looks solid enough, if Nebraska shows promise in moving on towards the future after this season, maybe a 5-star lineman like him will say, hey, you know what? Maybe I can go here and get better as a lineman. You know, if Nebraska's offensive line shows promise and some of those guys end up getting their names, mentioned in, during the season as potential NFL draft prospects, that's something that can change the mind of some of these guys. But, if you do decide to move on and you focus your attention towards another 5-star prospect, it's something that you can, show to them how hard you did go after this guy and some of the things that you were able to do. You bring somebody back for a return visit and what have you. I feel like Nebraska's offensive line right now, although it's going to hurt missing Teddy Prohaska, it's going to hurt a lot. They're not in that terrible of a situation because of the experience, albeit not the greatest time at left tackle that Turner Corcoran did have earlier in his season, and how he's shown improvement throughout his time at Nebraska. And then you take into account the improvements that Bryce Benhart made at right tackle. You see that this offensive line, even through their struggles, has been able to improve. You wait and you see what Turner Corcoran's able to do at left tackle, because again, he has the experience there, and they've shown the improvement under Donovan Raiola that although some guys struggled early, they can get better and they can be serviceable offensive linemen.
So Jackson Cantwell, by the way, a 2026 guy. So he's got some time here. 6'7", 305-pound offensive tackle from Nixa, Missouri. His top 14 are, here we go. LSU, Michigan in no order. LSU, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida, Nebraska, Missouri, Miami, Alabama, Texas A&M, USC, Georgia, Oregon, Arkansas, and Ole Miss. So once again, 6'7", 305-pound offensive lineman. On 3.com, if you pull up specific players' recruiting profiles, they have this chart down below where it says distance from high school and offensive tackles drafted in the last 5 years, or at whatever position you're looking at for that player, and then total number of players drafted in the last 5 years. And you can go deeper and deeper and farther back and farther back. But what I was going to get to is you look at some of the other schools that Nebraska's competing with for specifically Jackson Cantwell, this 2026 offensive tackle. Is Nebraska in the last 5 years has had one offensive tackle drafted. In the last 5 years, they have had 7 total players drafted. Then you look at Missouri, who is the home state school, just located campus, is 142 miles away from his high school of Nixa. Missouri, one offensive tackle drafted, 14 players drafted. Oklahoma, a little bit better, 4 offensive linemen drafted, 20 players drafted in the last 5 years. Georgia, we know their situation, right? 3 offensive tackles drafted in the last 5 years, 42 players overall drafted in the last 5 years.
It's 7 players drafted last year, I think.
Alabama has had 37 players drafted in the last 5 years. Nebraska sits at 7 players drafted in the last 5 years. Now, it's fine for Matt Rhule because he can use the reasoning of we weren't here. The developmental first staff was not here. And that's applicable. That's correct. But also the opportunity that's for the Tennessees in the world. And it's there and easy low-hanging fruit for Georgia and those types of programs when recruiting against Nebraska. It's simple to say they don't have NFL guys in the last 5 years.
They're not going to put you in a position where you want to be. They're not going to get you to the league.
Georgia can walk in and say, "Hey, we've put 42 guys in the last 5 years."
Mm-hmm. But again, what Nebraska can do to combat that negative recruiting is, look, we weren't here. You
Exactly.
can see, you'll have to wait to see. We have guys right now who are being mentioned on draft boards who, we have guys who, again, we didn't recruit, but we have built up from these teams that weren't getting people drafted to now X amount of guys are being mentioned on draft boards, and these guys could get drafted at the same position that you're at. And you go back to, Matt Rhule be able to go back to my Baylor time, go back to my time at Temple and see how many people that I was able to have drafted. That those numbers don't define the Rhule era at Nebraska, but it is going to be hard to say, look, we've only had 7 guys drafted in the last few years. 1 offensive lineman, that's what you said, right? 1 offensive lineman, and he was the center.
1 offensive tackle.
1 offensive tackle drafted. And it's going to be tough to go up against that with numbers like Alabama and Georgia. But again, they weren't here. They'll be able to say that. And something, pushing towards the future is really going to be their only go-to there.
Once again, 402.
But you could,
You're fine.
You could go with the undrafted. How many offensive linemen from Nebraska, unfortunately go undrafted, but then end up sticking with teams in the NFL because for some odd reason, when they're at Nebraska, they're not good enough to be drafted. When they get to the NFL, they're mainstays on offensive lines.
I want to quiz it. Let us know on the text line 402-464-5685. Who was Nebraska's 1 offensive tackle in the last 5 years to be drafted? Don't say it, Rico. If you're thinking about it,
I don't even know.
Nebraska has had 1 offensive tackle specifically drafted in the last 5 years. Who was it? We'll let you know. I'm going to see if Austin and Strick can figure out and find out on their own. Let us know on the text line 464-5685. There's your trivia question of the day. We'll step aside, get you ready for On the Block with Strick and Austin coming up next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G356093 must trade.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone here again with Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I hear your lot is packed with new and pre-owned cars again. I know everyone would love to hear all about it. Please tell us all about it.
Thanks, Charlie. It's taken some time, but we have more than 150 new Hondas in stock right now with hundreds on the way. including over 30 new Ridgelines in stock right now. But we've been telling everyone now, Charlie, is it's really cool that someone can come in and look at a new Honda and drive away with it that day.
That's great. Like you said, it's taken a while, but now there are hundreds to choose from. How about pre-owned, Andy?
As always, Charlie, we have over 100 to choose from, all makes and models, with prices starting at under $10,000.
Well, maybe it's time. You come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick the time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Have you been accused of a crime? Is your liberty and freedom at stake? At Liberty Law Group, we are committed to defending the liberty and pursuing justice for those accused. Going to court is stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. At Liberty Law Group, we carry that burden for you. When legal troubles are keeping you up at night, trust Liberty Law Group to fight your battles. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, partly sunny with a slight chance for showers and storms, and a high around 85. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 62. And tomorrow, we'll see a slight chance for showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny and a high around 78. The meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The 2024 Nebraska football season is here, and we need you to be a part of the Sea of Red Memorial Stadium this fall. A limited number of Husker football single-game tickets are on sale now and are only available while supplies last. Don't miss out on any of the action this season by getting yours before it's too late. To purchase your Husker football single-game tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Play ball!
Looking for the ultimate change-up from the typical family nights? How about a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers? Then unleash the fun at Haymarket Park with an action-packed, thrilling season of Salt Dogs baseball. Choose from 50 home games now through August with daily and weekly specials your whole pack can enjoy, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the magic and the excitement.
Strike three, you're out!
Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today. Unleash the fun.
Hey, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. It's official. Wedding season is here, and we know that every detail counts. From bridal party gifts to the finishing touches for the bride and groom, discover our exclusive selection of watches and fine jewelry. Did you know we even offer in-house engraving? Celebrate your special day with a personal touch and a timeless gift they'll cherish forever. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I vomited last night.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I literally vomited. I threw up.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the happy hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Thanks to our show sponsor, Empire Fence and Netting, for their support of the program. As always, we are now joined by Austin Orman and Eric Strickland. Gentlemen, hello.
Hey, happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Here we are. The answer to the trivia question that I asked prior to the break. Nebraska's had one offensive tackle drafted in the last 5 years. Who is it?
Stricky, do you know?
We have
in the last 5?
In the last 5 years. I have 2 people on the text line that have gotten it right. It is not Cam Jorgens. He was drafted as the center.
He was the center. Yeah.
And plus, then they moved him to guard for a moment. Yeah, now he's back at center. It is not Nick Gates. He was undrafted, correct? Or was Nick Gates like a 6th round? But he was also a guard.
Yeah. Moved to center as well.
Banks is not correct.
No, he was a UDFA.
Yep, that is correct. I don't know if they said Valentine. I don't think they mean Vincent Valentine, but it's also not Vincent Valentine.
Technically, he was a tackle.
He was a defensive tackle. Zach Stirrup, nope. It was 6th round in the 2021 NFL draft, or excuse me, 5th round in the 21 NFL draft. 159th overall to the Los Angeles Chargers, Brendan Hymus. 6'5", 290-pound offensive tackle from Austin, Texas. He was the last offensive tackle picked by Nebraska. I'm looking at their draft history right now.
Well, Farniok, that same draft in the 7th.
That's right. But was he a tackle? Or was he more?
He was the left tackle with Hymus, wasn't he?
I thought he was more of an interior guy.
I think they moved him to guard, but he was drafted as a tackle, wasn't he?
I would have viewed him as an interior guard type of guy.
Are we thinking of the wrong Farniok? Wasn't there 2 of them?
Well, who was on the left side with Hymus he was the left tackle, right?
What would that year have been?
Wasn't
2020?
Farniok the right
2020 Nebraska offensive line?
Yeah. Maybe I'm smoking something.
Okay, we'll see this here. Okay, so Nebraska's offensive line. Let's see if I can just. There we go.
NFL has him listed as a guard.
And that's where he played in the pros for sure.
Yeah. Let me see if I can just sort it here. Okay, so here was some of Nebraska's names in 2020. Obviously Brendan Hymus. Trent Hickson was there.
Center.
Okay, so he was their center. Are we
talking Matt Farniok?
Matt Farniok.
Yeah. Okay, Matt Farniok right here, 2020. Says that he started 7 games at right guard and 1 at center.
So you also had Sichterman there for a couple of seasons. Turner Corcoran was there.
So you're remembering
Nuri was still there.
2019, his junior year, he was the right tackle.
That's what it was.
There you go.
But then he moved to guard his senior year.
Okay.
There you go.
He played both, but he was drafted as a guard.
Yeah. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, and somebody sent us in the picture of 24/7 Sports has him listed as a tackle. That's what he was coming out of high school.
Right.
Coming out of high school. That's what, since 24/7 is a recruiting machine, that's why it lists him as a tackle. Stricky, what'd you do this weekend? Anything fun?
No, pretty relaxed.
Cool.
Just really chill. I mean, it was beautiful outside. Couple days on the patio. You know what that means.
Yeah.
Cigars.
Yep.
Patio pounders?
Not really. A little wine. But
the wine.
Yeah.
Little patio palate cleanser?
The weather was phenomenal.
It was beautiful.
It was.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna get bad this weekend though, so get prepared.
Is
it
it
hot? It's gonna be hot.
I got the pool up north.
You guys got some golf in too, huh? Without me again.
What do you mean you guys got some golf in?
Yeah.
We all saw the picture. Don't play dumb.
Yeah.
You and Foreman?
Yeah.
Rob and Big have really changed.
You see,
I'm gonna be honest.
You see Austin, how they do
so
it?
here's the thing.
You see how they do it?
Stricky, here's the exact how it all went down. I played horrible on Saturday.
But you still played.
But here's the thing. So I was at the gym lifting. Jay calls me and goes, "Hey, you wanna get some golf in today?" I was like, "Sure, yeah. Like, where do you want to play?" Thinking he was gonna say like Holmes or somewhere else, and he's like, "Oh, let's go to Firethorn." I was like, "Oh, okay." It's that type of round.
Call it to the bigs.
So we go up there. We go up to Firethorn. We played like 13 holes, and we didn't even play a whole round. I couldn't tell you what I shot. I didn't keep track a whole lot because every single time it was shoulders. It was shoulder day. So every time I got up here, and as soon as I started my motion down towards the golf ball, my shoulders just gave out. I lost it all.
They were like, "You should stop now."
I lost it all. But then I played Sunday. Sunday was good though.
I bet.
What, Stricky?
Look at that
I'm
face.
just saying.
Look at that face. If you're on the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, you see Strick's face. He is not. He is
Strick,
not.
why are you
pleased.
mad? You Strick.
I see how
The
you
phone
guys
works
do me.
both ways.
I see how you guys do me.
You got a lot
guys
of
do
cool
not
courses up in
like
Omaha.
Stricky on the Get Out. It's okay.
You got a lot of cool courses in Omaha that I ain't ever played.
Don't you live on a course?
Yeah, don't you live on the course? You probably get the free. You probably get the free golf. Do you have to pay extra insurance when you live on a golf
what
course?
happens is how they try to switch this around. First, it starts off here. He then integrates, my boy is silent. And then now it all turns into a Stricky thing. That's unbelievable.
Well, the phone works both ways.
But if I was saying something, my boy would have shanked me by now about 3 or 4 times. Yeah, I would have got about 4 shanks on the low key. Right.
Next
It's
time
unbelievable.
you're in Dallas, make sure you invite Nick to golf with you. How about that?
I would love to. I don't ever get the invite to Dallas.
Sure you do. All the time.
No, I don't. I said, hey man, I wanna go to a Dallas
Snaky
Mavericks
Jakey
game.
went
Where?
to Dallas.
He went
I
to
gave
Denver.
Snaky Jakey all of the good insights.
He went to Denver.
He went to Denver just recently, but before that, he went to Dallas.
How was
Okay.
Jake this morning? I didn't see him. How was his train ride?
So
I want to do that.
You want to?
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. I actually
On the
sent.
blog live stream?
Yes, we need to do that.
I'll tell. So this is how my Friday night went. It was kind of.
Who wants to care?
Huh?
Tell it.
So
What is happening?
I'm kind of like embarrassed to admit that I never do this. I went out Friday night. I told you guys that I ran into former Husker Eric Lee Jr., his dad, at a lounge, and we chopped it up for like 4.5 hours, kind of crazy. And then I got out of there, and I get a text from Jake or a picture from Jake that he's downtown, and he's like, "Hey, I'm at the send off. Come on down." And I was like, I didn't know there was a send off, expecting there to be like 12, 15 people there. I walked in, there was 2. It was Jake and his buddy Seth. And I was like, I said, okay. So I walked in there, and it's like 12:53 in the morning, and like just past midnight. And first of all, way too late for me. Second of all, I go in there, not a single soul in the restaurant except Jake, his buddy. And then he goes, "Oh no, I gotta go. My train leaves in 10 minutes." And he just books it out of the restaurant. I was there for probably 2 minutes.
Oh,
But you got a picture.
Got a picture, down a drink, and we got out of there.
I told Jake, and I will stand by this till the day that I die. That was not a punishment. Riding an Amtrak to a nice city to just hang out for an entire day, not a punishment.
Or was the punishment the solo drive back?
He said the punishment was the Amtrak because
Well,
you
that's
never
what they're
know.
going to say, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're going to advertise it as. Just
I
take
think it's a
boring
great
train ride.
fantasy football punishment.
I don't think it's a
I
punishment.
do.
Okay, so it would be a punishment.
Amtrak would
if
be
you had,
brutal. You
No,
can't do anything.
No, Nick. The punishment. First off, there's a bunch of things you could do on the Amtrak. You have to go to
How
a
many of
city
them are legal?
where you shut up. You have to go to a place where you don't know anybody. He went somewhere where he has a buddy who they golfed.
Yeah,
and they went to a brewery.
He played at Fossil Trace, which is a great golf course. Here, Stricky, I'll show you this right here. This is the course that he played.
Oh my!
As a punishment.
So I have this course. It's called Fossil Trace out in Golden, Colorado. I golfed it 2 or 3 summers ago, and I have that as my like desktop screen on my laptop. Beautiful course.
Better than TPC Scottsdale?
It's right up there, and for a fraction of the price.
Mm-hmm.
Fraction of the price. A lot tougher, I would say, than TPC Scottsdale.
Really?
You hit the ball farther, though.
Altitude.
You do hit the ball farther,
Mhm.
a little more narrow. But in the distance
How
at
are the
this
greens?
course, here's the thing. So I have a funny story that I'll have to tell you off air. I disrespected the course on accident, and I shot the worst back nine of my life. I played so well on the front nine. The golf gods are real.
They're real.
They are 100% real. I think I was like 6 over on the front nine here, and this is when I was like really bad, playing the round of my life.
You did that from the Reds.
No. We played from the tips like we always had to. But I shot the best like round of 9 in my life on the front nine. I was on hole number 9. It's a par 5. I got on and I 3-putted for par.
Oh.
For par. I had a chance at eagle.
Oh.
And I got frustrated.
Broke your putter.
And I did something that pissed the golf gods off. And I think I probably shot over a 60 on the back nine.
You Tiger Woods did.
It was such a bad. It was not good. But anyway, yeah. To the brewery point, you can see the Coors Banquet Brewery in the background.
Not a punishment.
It's like 5 minutes away
If
from
he
the
would have
course.
gone, I said, I looked up Amtrak sites. Go to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
What other Amtrak sites are there?
I don't know. I just looked at the one from Lincoln. And I was looking at the where all the.
I think probably
things
part
go.
of this is like financial piece of it. You need somewhere that's somewhat more affordable.
No, you go to Harrisburg and then you ride the Amtrak back.
What
That's the punishment is you have to ride it both ways.
What current Dallas Cowboys player is from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania? On the defense.
Isn't that Parsons?
It is Micah Parsons. Played running back for Harrisburg High School. Micah Parsons.
And then put on the shows of
Should have been a Husker.
Friday Night Lights.
That's right. That's right. Gosh dang. Anyway, all right. Let's move on. What's coming up on the show today, gentlemen?
We will dive into whether or not we believe Patrick Mahomes and his unscripted behind the back pass. Should the Pittsburgh Pirates shut down Paul Skeens? Sounds like that's on their list of things that they're considering. And then we'll get into some Nebraska football headlines. Could we have the starting quarterback named this week? In Nebraska not playing week 0. Do we like it? Do we not like it? All ahead of Brian Munson with the recruiting check-in.
All right. Well, that's good stuff. All that and more coming up in just a few minutes on The Block with Strick and Austin. Make sure you stay tuned for that and the shows the rest of the afternoon. Don't forget, Link to Literacy's Word Stock is this Saturday. We're going to be out there until 11 a.m., but it goes from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. this Saturday out at Antelope Park. Make sure you participate in the second annual Word Stock. All right, that'll do it for us here on the Happy Hour on this block with Strick and Austin coming up next.
Adios.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Have you ever gotten a car deal so good that you can brag about for decades? This is that deal. The government has given us a $4,000 instant credit on vehicles already at the historically lowest prices. Cars that were over $50,000 just 2 years ago are now selling below $20,000. See the deals here and drive away the car of your dreams at a price you never thought possible. Go to 4000off.com, 400off.com to learn more.
Hey, it's Jake Sorensen. Tune in this Thursday, August 22nd for Early Break Live from the brand new Rhule Steakhouse in Ashland. We'll sample food throughout the broadcast and show off the newest steakhouse in the area this Thursday for Early Break Live from Rhule Steakhouse in Ashland.